For this intermediate hip opening flow, begin in a comfortable seated position. You can elevate the hips on a blanket or a bolster if you like, and then draw the hands together in front of the heart, beginning with deep Ujjayi breath, breathing fully in and out through the nose, and gently activating the muscles of the throat to create an ocean-like sound with the breath. If you've never practiced Ujjayi breath before, you can imagine fogging a mirror on the backs of the teeth, making a gentle sighing sound with the lips closed. With every breath, expanding fully into the front and back bodies. And with every exhale, contracting, drawing the belly in from all sides, creating an audible ocean-like sound that will warm the body and focus the mind throughout the practice. Inhale, sweep the arms up and out, reaching overhead and watching the palms meet. Exhale, clasp the left wrist with the right hand. Inhale, stretch up and over to the right, lengthening out the left side of the belly and the rib cage. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, switch the clasp of the hands. And inhale, stretch up and over to the left, opening the right side of the body. Inhale, lift back through center. Exhale, release the hands down to the knees. Inhale, press the chest forward, and exhale, round the back. Inhale, rocking forward, lifting the heart and gaze. Exhale, round the spine. Keep moving with your own breath, seated cat-cow, warming up the spine and freeing the breath. The next time you come forward, begin to circle the rib cage around to the back as you exhale. Inhale, circling forward. Tracing big circles in the air with the rib cage, inhaling forward and exhaling back. The next time you come forward, pause and reverse direction of the circles. Inhale as you roll the heart forward and around, and exhale, round the spine to roll back. With your next inhale, sit up tall and sweep the arms overhead, watching the palms meet. Exhale, twist to your right, left hand to right knee, right hand behind you. Taking 3 deep breaths, lengthening through the spine on the inhale, rolling the right shoulder back on the exhale. Inhale to look forward, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, twist to the left, right hand to left knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, roll the left shoulder back to twist. Inhale, reach both arms up overhead, filling the body with breath. Exhale, release the right hand to the floor and reach up and over with the left. With your next inhale, turn the gaze up under the left arm. Exhale to look down at the floor. Inhale, turn the gaze up. Exhale to gaze down. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale, gaze down, and inhale, reach back through center, releasing the left hand to the floor, sweeping the right arm up and over. Inhale, gaze up under the right bicep. Exhale, gaze down at the floor. Inhale to look up. Exhale to gaze down. One more round with your breath. And then inhale, reach all the way up through center. Planting the hands behind you, stepping the feet out in front of you, begin to rock the knees left to right, massaging the outer hips, bringing sensation and energy back into the legs. Bring the knees back to center. Cross the right ankle over the left knee, making a figure 4 shape, and flex the right foot strongly. Toes draw back towards the shin. For more sensation, walk the left foot and the hands in towards the hips, lengthening out of the lower back, sitting up nice and tall. Press the right knee away from you as the foot stays super active to protect the knee. Then lean back to tuck the left foot beside the right hip, pressing the right foot down to the floor, lifting the right knee to the sky, and holding just under the right knee to sit up nice and tall. If the hips are tighter, feel free to step the right foot on the other side of the left shin. As you sit tall, press the right hip down, grounding it into the earth. Then reach the right hand back behind you. On an inhale, extend the left arm high. Exhale, wrap the left elbow around the right knee and gaze back over the right shoulder. Inhale to look forward, holding the sides of the right foot with both hands or wrapping a strap around the ball of the foot. Slowly extend the leg as much as your hamstrings will allow by pressing through the heel. Keep the back long, belly lifting up towards the thigh. Finding a variation of Kranchasana, heron pose. Shoulders draw away from the ears. And for the last few breaths here, if you'd like to go a little deeper, open the elbows out to the sides and draw the leg a little closer to the body. Keep the heart lifted towards the shin, crown of the head reaching for the toes. On an exhale, soften the right knee, tucking the right knee under the right shoulder. And press the foot back strongly, drawing the knee back behind the shoulder, just on the other side of the rib cage. And then sweep the shin forward, wrapping the elbows around the foot and the knee, cradling the lower leg like a baby. If that's uncomfortable, you can hold underneath the calf with the hands or the elbows. Sit up nice and tall, reaching the heart towards the shin and the shin towards the heart. The right foot is still flexed strongly to protect the knee. And feel free to find a little rocking sensation to soften into the outer right hip. Help the right foot down to the floor and start to crawl it back towards the left hip, stacking knee on top of knee for Gomukhasana. Feel free to lift the seat and puzzle piece the knees together and sit back down. If the hips are tight, the right foot can stay a little further forward. That's fine. Ultimately, the feet are close to the hips and the knees are stacked. Press the heels of the hands into the arches of the feet and begin to rock left to right. Massaging into the feet with the palms of the hands. Sending kind, warm, and compassionate energy into the body with each touch. Let that energy travel up the legs and help the hips to release and soften. Leaving the heels of the hands grounded on the feet, slowly begin to lean forward, letting the head hang heavy. Maybe the chin tucks down over the top knee. If the torso is on the thighs, feel the breath massage the belly into the thighs. Staying low, walk the hands over to your left, just behind the right foot. Keep the feet where they are, lift the seat, and begin to walk the hands across the back of your mat, spinning all the way around to sit down on the other side. Left knee pointing up towards the sky, sitting tall and holding just underneath the knee. Lengthening through the spine as you press the left hip down towards the earth. Returning to your deep Ujjayi breath. Reach the left hand back behind you. On an inhale, extend the right arm high. As you exhale, wrap the right elbow around the left knee, draping the forearm down the thigh, and turn to gaze back over the left shoulder, using your breath to take you deeper into the twist. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. On your next inhale, gaze forward, holding both sides of the left foot or taking a strap around the foot, lifting the toes up to eye height and then pressing through the heel to extend the leg. Keeping the lower back long, lengthening through the spine and drawing the shoulders down away from the ears. If the hamstrings feel more open for the last few breaths, bend the elbows out to the side and draw the straight leg closer to the body. Keep the crown of the head reaching up towards the toes. On an exhale, soften the left knee, tucking the left knee under the left shoulder, sole of the foot facing forward. Keeping the knee close to the shoulder as you press the foot back towards the left armpit. And then sweeping the shin across the chest, cradling the lower leg, however is comfortable for you. Keep the heart reaching towards the shin, shin up towards the heart, and flex the left foot strongly. Find a gentle rock to soften into the left outer hip. Keep sending energy through the sole of the foot to protect the left knee, even as you soften. And coming back to center, help the left foot down on the outside of the right hip. Feel free to lift the seat, get the knees a little closer together and sit back down. or take any leg variations that are more comfortable. Heels of the hands to the arches of the feet, and gently begin to rock left to right, pulsing energy into the feet one at a time. Closing the eyes, softening the breath as you look within. Enjoying the slower, more introspective moments of the practice, preparing for more dynamic action to come. Slowly leaning forward, on an exhale, reaching out through the crown of the head, pressing the heels of the hands down into the balls of the feet, and then pressing the hips down towards the earth to keep yourself grounded as you lean forward. If the belly is resting on the thighs, let the breath massage the belly into the thighs, massaging the internal organs, deepening the breath. Then staying low, begin to walk the hands over to your right, taking the hands behind the left foot, lifting the seat, keeping the feet where they are as you walk the hands around, and coming to sit on the first side. Step the feet out in front of you, hands behind the hips, and begin to rock the knees left to right. Resetting the legs, resetting the hips, noticing any change in the hips since the beginning of the practice. Then reach the arms forward, lean back slightly, and lift the toes to eye height. You can also hold the backs of the thighs for more support in Navasana boat pose, or for more of a challenge, straighten the legs. Use your deep Ujjayi breath to keep the body strong and steady. Active legs sending out energy through the soles of the feet. Lift and lengthen out of the lower back. Nice deep breaths. Hold yourself steady. Don't give in, stay strong. One more inhale, lift the heart. As you exhale, cross the ankles, roll forward, and come onto hands and knees. Knees under the hips, hands directly under the shoulders. As you inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the heart and gaze. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lift the tailbone, heart through the arms, gaze up. Exhale, draw the belly in, head hangs heavy. Keep moving in cat and cow with your own breath, reconnecting the movement to the deep Ujjayi breath. Coming back to center, walk the hands slightly forward and the knees together. Keeping the arms straight, on an exhale, lower the hips to the right, knees stay on the mat. Inhale, lift through center, and exhale, hips over to the left. Inhaling through center, exhale back to the right. Inhaling through center and exhale all the way over to the left. Keep going with your breath, the hips don't have to touch. Keep the arms straight and the knees on the floor. With your next exhale, sit the hips back toward the heels, and as you inhale, circle the hips to the right and forward, exhaling to the left and back. Inhaling right and forward, exhale, circling left and back. One more full round with the hips. As the hips reach the heels, pause and reverse direction. Inhale to come forward, exhale to move back. Inhale, rolling the hips left and forward, exhale, shifting them right and back. One more full circle. Then pause with the hips on the heels, rest the forehead to the earth in Balasana, child's pose, knowing this is a place you can come to at any point in the practice if you need a rest or to regain the breath. On your next inhale, shift the weight forward into the hands, taking the knees hip distance apart. Curl the toes, press the floor away with the hands to lift the seat, keeping the knees soft at first, a modification of downward facing dog. You can begin to pedal the heels if you like, stretching the backs of the legs. Focusing on the upper body, gripping all 10 fingertips into the mat, pressing through the hands to lengthen the sides of the waist. And then reaching both heels down towards the floor. Legs strong and active, inner thighs rolling back. Inhale to come up onto the toes and exhale to walk forward, feet in between the hands, knees soft. Hold opposite elbows and let the head hang heavy between the arms. Staying a few breaths here in ragdoll pose. Feeling the length in the lower back with the knees bent. You can always keep the knees bent as you fold forward if you need to find this length. Then release the arms, bend the knees deeply, tuck the tailbone, and slowly roll up to stand. taking at least 2 or 3 breaths to come all the way up. Arriving in Tadasana Mountain Pose, lift and spread the toes, imprinting the feet into the mat, and activate the legs. Reach the tailbone down to the heels, draw the shoulder blades down the back. On your next inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, long low back, folding forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up onto the fingertips. Exhale, bend the knees and step back to high plank pose. Lower the knees, releasing all the way to the earth. Inhale, lift the heart, Bhujangasana Cobra Pose. Reach the toes back and lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale to roll down onto the belly. Inhale, press up onto the knees, curl the toes under. Exhale, lift the seat, downward facing dog. Long, deep Ujjayi breaths. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Stay in down dog body. As you exhale, draw the thigh to the chest. Inhale to extend the right leg. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, reach the right leg high. Exhale, curling in, thigh to chest. Inhale, reach the leg high, scissor the thighs apart. Exhale, knee to chest. This time come forward and step through, foot between the hands. Heel toe the right foot out to the side, taking both hands inside the foot. Lower the back knee and release the back toes, pressing both feet strongly into the earth. You're welcome to stay on the palms, or to go deeper, come down onto the forearms. If that's too low for you, you can always use a block or a book or a stack of books under the elbows. The right toes are facing forward and the right knee is close to the right shoulder. For the last few breaths here, curl the back toes under, lift the back knee and press through the back heel, left leg strong and active. And then begin to roll onto the outer edge of the left foot, turning the right toes out at a diagonal, rolling onto the outer edge of the right foot. Left forearm comes parallel with the front of the mat, stepping the right foot back to stack the right leg on top of the left. If available, inhale, extend the right arm high, gazing up at the right thumb. Squeeze the inner thighs together, lift the hips away from the earth, pressing down strongly through the left forearm. Both shoulder blades draw down the back. Release the right hand down to the floor, roll onto the balls of both feet and lower onto the belly. Hands under the shoulders, reach back through the toes. As you inhale, lift the chest, Bhujangasana Cobra Pose. Exhale, lower down onto the belly. Inhale, press yourself up onto the knees or straight up to plank. Exhale to downward facing dog. Lengthen the breath and lengthen the spine. With your next inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, bend the knee, thigh to chest, staying in down dog body. Inhale, reach the leg high. Exhale, curl the thigh in, bending the knee. Inhale, extend the left leg high, reaching through the foot. Exhale, round the thigh into the chest. Inhale to extend. This time, exhale, come forward, step the left foot between the hands, and then heel toe it out to the side, left hand inside left foot. Release the back knee and back toes to the earth, finding lizard pose on the second side. If you'd like to go deeper, lower down onto the forearms or onto any props that you like, and then imprint both feet strongly into the mat. Left knee stays close to the left shoulder, left toes pointing forward. For the last few breaths here, curl the back toes under, lift the back knee, and press through the back heel, breathing deeply into the left hip. Place the left palm on the floor for support, and then roll to the outer edge of the right foot, turning the left toes out at a diagonal and the right forearm parallel to the front of the mat. Step the left foot back, stacking left leg on top of right, and if available, reach the left arm up to the sky, looking up at the left thumb. Squeeze the inner thighs together for support. Lift the hips away from the floor. Keep the body strong, pressing the right forearm into the earth, and slide the shoulder blades down the back. To come out, look down, release the left hand to the earth. Come onto the balls of both feet and lower onto the belly. Toes release back. Hands press down. As you inhale, lift the chest proudly, Cobra Pose. Exhale, roll down onto the belly, pressing straight up to plank as you inhale. Exhale, lift the hips high, downward facing dog. Even out the breath. Relax the back of the neck. Roll the inner thighs back and anchor the heels to the earth. Inhale, come up high onto the toes. Exhale, soften the knees and walk forward. Feet arrive between the hands. Inhale, lengthen the spine, come onto the fingertips. Exhale, fold deeply, Uttanasana, forehead towards the shins. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way out and up, coming to stand. Exhale, hands down to the heart. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead, fill the body with breath. Exhale, open the palms, long spine to dive forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift onto the fingertips, plant the hands as you exhale, step back to plank pose, lowering straight into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, sweep the heart forward, upward facing dog. Exhale, draw from the navel up and back, downward facing dog. Keep the feet hips distance. As you inhale, lift the right leg high, toes point down to the earth. Exhale, knee to chest, step the foot between the hands. Step the left foot slightly out to the left and ground the back heel down. Left toes point toward the front left corner of the mat. Hands to the hips. Inhale, lift the torso all the way up. Pressing down through both feet, imprinting the feet into the mat. Lift the inner arch of the back foot, keeping the right knee over the ankle. On an inhale, circle the arms up overhead, palms meet, and maybe gazing up at the thumbs if you keep your balance. Square the hips toward the front of the mat by rolling the left hip slightly forward and drawing the right hip back. Keep the right knee deeply bent. Inhale, lift up a little higher. As you exhale, sweep the arms back, interlace the hands. Inhale, lift the heart to lean back. Exhale, bowing forward, right shoulder inside right knee if you're more flexible. Reaching the knuckles up and over the head, ostrich pose. One more deep Ujjayi breath here. And then release the hands, tucking the right shoulder underneath the right knee, hands on either side of the front foot. You can stay here or reach the arms back like airplane arms, palms face down. Draw the right hip back in space. If you'd like to move into an arm balance, Ekapada Kundanyasana 2, hands on either side of the front foot, underneath the shoulders. Reach the right leg forward, bend the arms like Chaturanga, and extend strongly back through the left foot, hovering the legs. And then everyone, inhale, reach the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the leg down. Inhale, rolling the body forward through plank pose. Exhale, heart shifts forward, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, roll over the toes, lift the chest. Exhale, draw the low belly up and back, downward facing dog. Immediately inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, step the foot through between the hands. Right foot steps off to the right. Ground the back heel, right toes pointing forward at the front corner of the mat. Hands to the hips. Inhale, lengthen through the crown to lift up. Press both feet strongly into the mat, especially the outer edge of the back foot, lifting the inner right arch. Square the hips, drawing left hip back, right hip forward. On an inhale, reach the arms overhead, maybe gazing up at the thumbs. Keep the legs strong, left knee directly over left ankle and a slight tuck of the tailbone. One more inhale to lengthen the sides of the waist, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, swim the arms back, interlacing the uncommon way. Inhale to lift the chest, and exhale, bowing forward. Tucking left shoulder inside the left knee, drawing the left hip back in space as you reach the knuckles up and over the head in ostrich pose. Reach the crown of the head to the earth for one more deep Ujjayi breath. And then release the hands. Tuck the left shoulder under the left knee, hands on either side of the foot. Next level, reach both arms back in airplane arms, palms face the earth, drawing the left hip back in space, anchoring right heel to the ground. Final option to plant the hands. Reach the left foot forward and begin to tip forward on Chaturanga arms, extending strongly through both feet to hover off the floor, shoulder blades down the back, shoulders even. On an inhale, reach the left leg all the way up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale to step the foot down. Inhale, roll the body forward, high plank pose. Exhale, elbows straight back, Chaturanga arms. Inhale, sweep the heart forward, upward facing dog. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, take them wide to the edges of the mat, peel the toes back, and sit the hips back to the heels, Balasana Child's pose. Resting here for a few moments, letting the body release into the mat and returning to the deep, steady Ujjayi breath. Walk the hands back as you begin to sit up, rocking forward just enough to cross the ankles and then rock back to a cross-legged seat. Take the shins a little further away from the pelvis, feet strongly flexed to make a triangle shape between the legs, pressing the hands behind the hips to lengthen the lower back. You can stay here or lift the right leg on top of the left, again stacking the shins so that there is a clear triangle if you look down between the legs. The right ankle goes past the left knee, the foot is strongly flexed. If the knee is in the air, take both hands to the right knee, and without forcing, gently lean towards the knee. You can stay here, or to go one step deeper, turn the palms to face the sky and rest the elbows on the top of the right shin, leaning forward with a long spine, letting the weight of the body gradually open the right outer hip. If you'd like to go one step deeper, begin to walk the hands forward. Remember, the feet stay active to protect the knees. The head can relax, staying on tented fingertips, pressing the hips back and down into the earth. Slowly walk the hands back towards the feet, lifting the right leg off the left gently, turning the sole of the foot forward and holding on to both sides of the foot. Tuck the left foot close to the right hip, and then begin to press through the right heel to extend the leg, returning to Kranchasana, heron pose. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, lengthen through the crown of the head. And for the last few breaths here, if you'd like, bend the elbows out to the sides, draw the leg a little closer to the torso, noticing any differences from the beginning of the practice. And then bend the right knee, tucking it underneath the right shoulder, pressing the right foot back towards the armpit. Release the right hand, taking it underneath the right ankle and scooting the right knee up and over the shoulder like you're putting on a backpack. Then cross the left hand on top of the right ankle, holding the outer edge of the foot. Right hand plants down outside the right hip and begin to extend the right leg, pressing strongly through the heel, simultaneously pressing the hip down towards the earth and turning to gaze up under the left arm. Parivrtta Surya Yantrasana, sundial pose. Pressing the right arm strongly into the right leg to keep the hip open. One more deep breath. On an exhale, soften the right knee, and then release the hands on either side of the hips. Extend the left leg forward. On an exhale, press the right thigh into the arm to lift the seat. If that's too challenging, keep the left heel on the floor and try to lift the seat. On an exhale, release both legs, cross the ankles, roll forward, and step back to plank pose. Flowing through a gentle vinyasa, exhale to lower the knees and come down onto the belly. Inhale, roll the chest forward, elbows back, cobra pose. Exhale, softening down. Inhale, press up to the knees, curl the toes under. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Exhale, open the knees wide to the edges of the mat and sit the hips back to find Balasana, child's pose. Soften the body and deepen the breath. Slowly begin to walk the hands back towards the knees, sitting up, and then rocking forward to cross the ankles the opposite way, and rocking back to a cross-legged seat. Flexing both feet, taking the shins close together but far away from the pelvis, making a triangle shape with the legs. And then lifting this time the left shin to cross over the right. The left ankle will go out beyond the right knee. Feet are strongly flexed, stacking shin on top of shin. If the left knee is on the air, rest the hands on the knee and lean towards the knee without forcing or straining, aiming to have sensation only in the hip joint and not in the knee. Turn the palms to face up. Rest the elbows on the top of the left shin if you did on the first side, and lengthen out of the lower back as you lean the weight of the body forward. You can always stay here or even back off a level if you start to have discomfort in either of the knees. If you do decide that it's serving your body to go a step deeper, reach the arms forward and begin to walk forward on tented fingertips, letting the head be heavy and pressing into the fingers to reach the sitting bones back and down, rooting them into the earth. This is Agni Stambhasana, fire log pose. Slowly begin to walk the hands back towards the leg. Lift the left shin off the right and tuck the right foot closer to the left hip. Holding either side of the left foot, turn the sole of the foot forward and then press through the left heel to straighten the leg, flexing the toes back towards the shin. Lift the heart towards the toes and draw the shoulders away from the ears. The leg doesn't have to be completely straight. You could also use a strap here. If you'd like to go deeper for the last few breaths, bend the elbows out to the sides and draw the leg closer to the upper body, reaching the crown of the head towards the toes, staying long and lifted out of the lumbar spine, the lower back. On an exhale, soften the left knee, tuck it underneath the left shoulder. Holding onto the foot, draw it back towards the left armpit, keeping the left knee close to the body. And then release the left arm, tucking it underneath the left calf, working the knee up and over the shoulder like you're putting on a backpack. Crossing the right hand over the ankle, and then holding the outer edge of the foot as you plant the left hand down outside the left hip and begin to press through the left heel, reaching strongly through the leg. Simultaneously press the left hip down into the earth and turn to gaze up underneath the right arm, rolling the right side of the rib cage back. Revolve sundial pose. On an exhale, soften the left knee, keeping the knee high onto the shoulder, planting the hands on either sides of the hips, extending the right leg long, and then pressing the left thigh into the upper left arm to lift the seat. Lifting as high as you can, staying strong in the low belly. Squeeze the thighs together and press the hands into the earth. And then bend both knees, cross the ankles, roll forward onto the hands, and step back to high plank pose. On an exhale, lower the knees down, coming onto the belly. Inhale, lift the low belly to lift the chest, cobra pose. Exhale, rolling down. Inhale, press up onto the knees. Exhale, curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog, neutralizing the body, the spine, and the breath. On an exhale, bend the knees out to the edges of the mat, tuck the toes back, and rest the forehead on the earth, child's pose. On an inhale, rock your weight forward into the hands. Cross the ankles, sit down, and then step the feet out in front of you. Make sure you have room behind you on your mat. Reach the arms forward and roll down onto the back. Once you're on your back, shift your hips a few inches over to the left side of your mat. Open the arms like cactus arms, palms face up, elbows bent. Draw the knees to the chest. Then slowly lower the knees to the right. The knees move the opposite direction as the hips. Finding a supine twist and breathing deeply into the belly, letting the body be heavy on the floor. If the top knee doesn't easily rest on the bottom knee, then place a bolster or a blanket between the knees. Slowly turn the head towards the left hand, making a slightly deeper twist. And sending the breath into the left side of the belly and the left side of the rib cage, letting the physical body melt into the earth. On an exhale, draw the left knee into the chest and roll onto the back. Step the feet down to the floor, shift the hips back through center, and then 2 or 3 inches over to the right side of your mat. Draw the knees into the chest, and slowly lower both knees to the left, keeping the knees close to the left arm. Let both legs be heavy, feeling the body sinking down as though it could sink down into the earth through your mat. Soften the breath into the belly, expanding especially into the right side of the belly and the right side of the rib cage. Then turn the head towards your right hand for a slightly deeper twist in the cervical spine. Let the physical body rest and surrender into the earth. On an exhale, draw the right knee in close to the chest and roll onto the back. Step the feet down to the floor, shift the hips back to center. Then walk the feet wide to the edges of the mat, knees fall together, and the hands rest on the belly in constructive rest position. Take 3 deep, full belly breaths here, feeling the belly inflate and deflate like a balloon with the breath. You're welcome to stay here for Shavasana, or if you prefer, extend the arms and legs, making low V shapes, leaving a little space between the legs and a little space between the arms and the body. Or if you prefer, you can move to a wall for Viparita Karani, legs up the wall, using a restorative inversion to refresh and rejuvenate the legs after all the energy that we've used in the practice. Once you find a comfortable Shavasana position, let the body melt into the earth and the mind be soft. For the next few minutes, release even the control of the breath and let yourself drift on the waves of the breath, flowing naturally in and out, staying alert but completely relaxed. Very slowly bring movement into your fingers and toes, turning the head side to side and breathing deeply into the belly. On an inhale, stretch the arms overhead, extending long from fingers to toes. As you exhale, draw the knees into the chest one at a time. Then roll over onto the side, cradling the head in the arm, resting for a few breaths in the fetal position. Keeping the eyes closed or almost closed, the lids heavy looking through the lashes as you make your way to a comfortable seated position. When you arrive in your seat, draw the palms together in front of the heart. resting the thumbs on the breastbone, and giving thanks for your body, for your breath, for the opportunity to be alive on this earth and practicing on this day. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for sharing this hip opening flow with me. My name is Alicia Waters. Stay safe, stay joyful, and stay in practice.